music with my bro. Will it dig it? Yes or no? Here we go on with the show, the Bro Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 32 of the Hear Me Out Bro Podcast. I'm Eric. I'd like to welcome my brother Clark.
Hello.
Today's episode, we're doing a St. Patrick's Day special. So we'll be returning to the Emerald Isle, and this time we're also going to include Irish bands from America, or bands from America that play Irish music,
right,
on our list as well. So it's not just like a locale one. This is our St. Patrick's Day special. So we're calling it Ireland 2. So if you want to listen along, you can find all of our shows and all of our playlists by searching for @HMOBP on YouTube. And if you'd like to leave a comment as you're listening to the songs on the playlist, let people know that the Hear Me Out Bro podcast brought you there. That'll help us out in growing the show and getting more listeners. And if you'd like to reach out to us with any feedback or comments or complaints or show ideas, you can contact us at hearmeoutbropodcast@gmail.com, all lowercase, all one word. If you'd like to follow us on Facebook, we have a Facebook page. It's the H-Mob. If you follow us there, whenever a new show drops, we put up a post to our Red Circle show page, and that'll have the download if you want to download it, listen to it on your device, or you can find all our episodes a little later that day up on YouTube. If that works better for you, then we hope you enjoyed last week's episode, and are you ready to jump into the playlist?
Dance a jig.
Yep. Okay, my first pick is, just because I've been in like an old school punk rock mood, need to listen to some Stiff Little Fingers as part of this. My litmus for picking songs for the playlist was like, this is going to be a St. Patrick's Day playlist. So like, what songs would I want to hear? You know, if I'm hanging out, eating corned beef and cabbage and dressed in green from head to toe, like, what songs are going to like heighten the experience for me?
Right.
So this first one is Stiff Little Fingers with Alternative Ulster.
Yeah, Stiff Little Fingers, man. They're so good.
Yeah, they're a good one. I guess back in the 70s, they had a fanzine called Alternative Ulster, too.
Nice.
It's kind of like the maximum rock and roll of Northern Ireland.
Nice.
Okay, you've heard of Blue-Eyed Soul, right?
Yes.
Well, this is Green-Eyed Soul.
Okay.
This is Ireland's favorite green-eyed soul singer and native son, Van Morrison, with the Chieftains, singing
nice.
Star of the County Down.
Very nice.
Yeah, I don't know if Van Morrison actually has green eyes or not, but I know he's in love with a brown-eyed girl.
That's true. Does she have nut brown eyes, though?
I don't know. Doesn't specify. But in a pinch, I did use my own green eyes to get out of a pinch on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I forgot to wear green, if someone pinched me, I'd pinch him back and say, look, I have green eyes.
Yeah, I used to do that too. And
it's a bit of a cop-out.
It's a total cop-out. And
but who likes getting pinched?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed you're wearing green as well.
I am. Accidentally. It's
the 13th as we... Oh, nice.
That's the Troll Hunter shirt that our sister gave me.
I'll be sure to wear green on the 17th, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have the day off, and my local is having a big do. So,
oh, nice.
I'll be wearing the hunting tartan kilt and heading over there.
Nice. Yeah, the little small town I lived in up in the mountains, like that was one of the days where they actually did something at the community center. We'd have like a big corned beef and hash, like potluck kind of thing. So that was always kind of nice. And also that's one of my like cooking / shopping tips is after St. Patrick's Day, go to the store
Right.
and get all the reduced corned beef hash so you can make Reubens for the rest of the year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the other one is on Thanksgiving, you get all the like post-Thanksgiving turkeys so you can make turkey enchiladas or have a turkey for Christmas.
Last couple years, like the turkey supply, like they've been cutting it a little close, so.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, they've
run
have
out
the
and
algorithm
stuff.
down or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to raise some turkeys this year. If I get them like as soon as it warms up enough, then they should be ready by Thanksgiving.
All right.
Because we get like the hippy dippy pasture raised turkeys and
right
organic free rangers. And they're pretty pricey.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that anymore, so I'm just going to raise them.
Yeah, I'm going to withhold my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Are you a conventional turkey guy?
No, I hate turkey. Absolutely. But it's just like...
What?
I hate it.
Oh, man.
It's so
Turkey's
gross.
Amazing.
Like a turkey sandwich is okay, if there's plenty of gravy, but it's it's so dry and flavorless. Ugh. And then, yeah, I've never been a fan. And like all the people that like set their house on fire trying to deep fry a turkey and stuff. It's like, and everybody's like, oh yeah, no, it's great. Like the meat's all tender and juicy and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's still turkey. Like just get a ham. Like any ham is better than the best turkey.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, I remember the year I came up to your place with Mom and Dad, and you had that semi-feral, like 40-pound turkey or whatever it was. That Godzilla turkey.
Oh, it was a monster. Yeah, my friend Chip raised all these turkeys and just like let them keep growing for like a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were huge. Yeah, and that was a long day. There was 3 of them. And this other guy was supposed to help us butcher them.
Mm-hmm.
But he as soon as we finished his, he took off with it.
Yoink.
And it's like, yeah, thanks,
that
dude.
Sucks.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I'm running late. My wife wants me home. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Our wives want us home too.
Right.
Help us out, bro.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. That was a long day, but that turkey dressed ended up weighing 32 pounds.
Jeez.
And I had to take the rack out of my oven so it would fit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was nuts.
Yeah.
That was a good turkey though.
It was
I thought so. If you're not a turkey lover, you're not a turkey lover.
Yeah, no.
That was a good turkey.
It's not the least favorite meat I've ever had, but it's pretty close.
It's better than tofurkey.
Yeah. Even when I was vegetarian, I was never a fan of the fake, imitation stuff. It's the only
fake thing I liked was the fake scrambled egg thing. It was like a seasoning pack. I can't remember what they called it, but you would mix it with tofu, and it actually tasted pretty good.
Right. Yeah. See, I was never vegan, so I always ate eggs, so that was never a problem. But it's it's just let tofu be tofu. Have it work to its strengths rather than try to force it to be something else.
Tofu's gross.
It can be. And just plain, it can be pretty gross.
It can be super gross.
Yeah. Yeah, the only ones I really liked were the Morningstar Farms hot dogs. Because it's like hot dogs are so processed anyway that it's like there's texture.
Well, kind of.
Texturally.
They don't have to be.
They don't have to be, but like, you know, like a total ballpark, you know, like a traditional hot dog. Yeah, like sausages, like it's a different story. But like hot dogs.
Actually, hot dogs are probably one of the healthier types of meat that you can eat because they contain a lot of organ meat in it, which is better for you than like muscle meat.
True.
So
a lot of
hot dogs aren't
awful.
Don't deserve the black eye that they get. Some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do. Yeah, the ones that are like chock full of nitrates and like
the ones that have the FDA allowable percentage of rat parts.
Yeah, rat parts and bug feces and
oh man.
Oh man. Yeah, like I don't know, like being a beer drinker, there's like being a nerdy beer drinker, like there's the whole Reinheitsgebot, like the German beer purity law of like 17 whatever. It was like, oh, it's one of the first like food safety laws in the world, and like it limits beer production to just water, grain, yeast, and hops, because it used to be 4 because they didn't know what yeast was. Like it predated them knowing what yeast was. But like for all its like food safety stuff, there was still a limit, like an acceptable number of rats and cats that could be in like, you know, giant vat of beer, like giant wort or whatever.
Yeah.
You could have like a certain number of rats and a certain like one cat, because they would always have cats to keep the rats down, because anytime you have grain, you have rats.
The cats eat the rats.
Yeah, and
the dogs chase the cats.
Yeah, it's total little old lady who swallowed the fly. Because, you know, they have like the big like mash tanks or whatever, like these huge tanks that were like the initial fermentation.
It's like a mouse party right there.
Well, yeah, and they have like the catwalks and stuff over them. It's like before they were like covered over, like now they're covered over, but like it was just like a giant barrel kind of thing, or like a water, like one of those wooden water towers, but even bigger. Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, okay, if like a guy falls in there, we'll stop production. But like if a cat goes in, like
or rats, yeah,
rats we can't help. But like, okay, well, okay, another cat went in. All right, we better dump this batch.
Oh man!
But yeah, it's like, how can you call it a purity law? It's like, it only has a few rats in it.
I was watching this Australian guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he had this air rifle and like infrared, like heat-seeking night vision.
Yeah.
And he was like,
you showed that
on
to
this.
Me.
He was at this guy's farm that was just totally overrun with rats.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he killed like 250 rats, like, I don't know, in like less than half an hour or something.
Yeah.
They were just everywhere.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I have dreams about doing stuff like that. Because like, I don't know, like I don't like hunting for hunting's sake. Like for food, yeah, okay. But then it's like, it's no contest. It is fun. But it's like, yeah, you go up in the mountains.
Yeah, that's total like whack-a-mole arcade or something.
Yeah, you go up in the mountains and like hunt a big elk. It's like, yeah, sorry, dude, that's not cool. Like, elks are majestic. They're like, you know, they're the monarchs of the glen. Like, leave them.
They taste really good.
Leave them alone. Yeah, they do, but I don't know. It's like, but yeah, like an air rifle and like killing non-native rats.
Yeah,
man, that would be pretty fun.
When you're done, like you get tickets to redeem at the stuffed animal thing,
right? The
stuffed animal cage.
Oh man, all these stuffed animals are kind of brownish gray.
This fur's so soft.
I know.
Weird.
Interesting.
This next one is Andy Irvine and Paul Brady. And I love this because it's like that traditional kind of reel that has like the stutters in it, which is like really cool on a picked instrument.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Fred Finn's reel / Sailing into Walpole's Marsh.
Very nice.
Yeah, that one has some like good bouzouki in it. And like bouzouki was, well, it started as a saz in Turkey, and then they modified it and it became popular in Greece. And then from Greece, it went to Ireland, and like a bunch of different countries have adopted the bouzouki as like a traditional instrument now.
Nice.
This next song, this guy is a great bouzouki player, and I love the way he sings. This is Dowry Farrell, and this song is Craigan White Hair. Pardon the pun, but we had a preemptive rabbit hole that we went down.
True.
Talking about hunting small animals. And I wouldn't say rodents because hares are lagomorphs.
Yeah.
They have 4 sets of incisors instead of 2, like rats and mice. So they are not rodents.
Nope.
Yeah, I forgot to add a hunting song on here.
Yeah, well, you know why like British soldiers and British hunters wear red jackets? It's because they're like such a-holes. They'll shoot everything, and it's to keep them from shooting each other.
Yeah, it's the like the safety orange or whatever, hunter orange.
Right.
They're all basically Dick Cheneys.
Bring me my brown trousers. You've heard that joke, right?
No.
Yeah, the one I heard was like the ship's captain, and they're like, Captain, there's a pirate ship off the starboard bow. It's like, bring me my red coat. Like, why your red coat? So if I get wounded and start bleeding, you guys won't be discouraged. You'll keep fighting. And so they fight off the pirates, and then the next day, they're like, Captain, there's 50 pirate ships off the starboard bow. Bring me my brown trousers.
Okay.
Anyway.
And you're like in this like psychic mode or something. Because we talked about the rats and the hunting, and then you talked about red coats.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another video. I've shown you this before, featuring Dowry Farrell. And I think they're on tour or something, and it's a delayed flight to Ireland. And so since they just sitting around, all these musicians break out their instruments and start singing. And it's so cool because like all the people waiting there, like join in, and it's just really cool. And Dowry Farrell happens to be wearing a red coat in this.
Yeah, I think video. It's a little different. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, it's cool.
I knew when I saw you had added that to the playlist that it was like, yes. Because I get to talk about one of my favorite things about Irish trad music is that it's like, it's not meant to be played on a stage. Like, it's meant to be played like in...
It's like participatory?
Yeah, like in and amongst and by the people. So, like it's really cool in like that movie about Queen and Freddie Mercury. They talk about how like the clap clap stomp thing and like having a stadium full of people doing that, because like Freddie Mercury was like, there's all these people and I want them to feel like they're part of the show. Like we can't give them all kazoos. Like that would be like, okay, well, people have their hands and they have their feet. I don't know. They're all like, we're both definitely Queen fans, but like, I don't know. In the movie, they like build it up as like this, like groundbreaking, amazing thing. And it's like, yeah, that's just trad music. Like, the audience is supposed to like participate and like sing along during the chorus and like be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that more examples will come up in the playlist of my point, but it's like, you know, it's not supposed to be like, we're up here, you're down there, listen. It's like, no, we're here in the corner playing, like, come and listen, sing along if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just love that. Like, you know, there's less separation, you know, it's not like this is a performance.
Right.
You know?
I'm a star.
Yeah. Yeah. Just pretty cool.
Yeah. And,
like
and the good thing about traditional songs, it's like they kind of belong to everyone, you know, they're like the public domain. They like,
right.
Like you heard your grandparents singing them to you or your mother singing them to you when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
So that concludes my portion of the list. I believe all the rest are yours.
We swear we've been trying to keep the playlists more manageable to maybe keep the episodes a little shorter, but
I think if we could go like with a dozen or Baker's dozen with some slight overage, we'd have like hour-long episodes.
Yeah. And, you know, we could still go on our goofy tangents and stuff, but still keep it manageable. But yeah, sometimes a topic is just like, it hits me where I live or where I want to live or where I hope to go when I die.
And this is like the reason we put this playlist together is so if you want to use a playlist for any of your St. Patrick's Day gatherings, you can put this on. Hey, Siri, play Hear Me Out Bro Podcasts Ireland 2 playlist from YouTube.
Yeah, maybe. Mine might get a little weird. my end of the list. So this one is, it's wistful, but also kind of funny. Like, that's what's so great about the Dubliners. So we're all familiar with Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Yeah.
We had it on our folk episode, right?
Folk playlist,
yeah. So Fiddler's Green is sort of the Irish fisherman's Big Rock Candy Mountain. It'll all be explained at the beginning of the song, what it's about, with subtitles in, I think, Finnish. No, not Finnish. Norwegian. Sorry, with subtitles in.
Speaking of rats,
in Norwegian. Yeah, so it's like the Norwegian brown rat.
Yeah, there's some rat outbreak that's happening, like in the East Coast. Everybody's freaking out about it, and they're blaming it on because of it's so warm. But that doesn't really. I mean, it makes sense that things start breeding in the spring, but it doesn't make sense that like an animal that's originally from Norway would be like kept at bay because of the cold.
Right. Yeah, keeping with the small furry animal theme. So this is Fiddler's Green by Barney McKenna and the Dubliners.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the connection with Rock Candy Mountain.
Yeah, like the fish jump on board with one swish of their tail.
Yeah.
Just like, you don't even have to try. They just hop right in.
Fish sounds good.
Oh, man.
I have to have some fish for dinner tonight.
One of the Dubliners tunes that I took off talked about, I'm from County Cork, the land of butter and bacon. If you think I'll eat fish and chips, you're mistaken.
Sadly mistaken.
Or, if you think I'll eat your fish and chips, you're mistaken. So next one, it's kind of an older version of Alternative Ulster, because if you know anything about Irish history, you know about the IRA, and to some they're terrorists, to others they're freedom fighters. So which side of that line you're on depends on what color shirt you wear when you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, or whether you celebrate it at all. So this next one is about Sinn Féin and Johnson's motor car. Yeah.
Based on historical events.
Apparently. Yeah. It's like such a jaunty song about a carjacking to go fight the crown.
Oh man.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I love the most about Ireland is like, yeah, like no matter how bad things get, like keep fighting, but then don't get like too butthurt about it. Like, you know, have a drink, have a crack, write a song about it. Like, it's just another day. Yeah, don't let the bastards grind you down. It's pretty cool. So, on that note, next song is another titan of Irish music, the Pogues, doing Dirty Old Town, which was originally a Dubliner song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hard to be in a band with somebody like that who like drinks so much that like you never know what you're gonna get.
Well, I think the rest of the band was like that too. So
yeah,
I think that's one of the reasons they lasted as long as they did.
They were all in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Pogues, what more needs to be said? Like, they're so good. A sad tune about industrialization.
Yep.
So if you're still on the fence about what color you should wear on St. Patrick's Day, this next song will convince you. So this is a song that had my allergies in my early spring seasonal allergies in full force, tearing up my eyes while I was adding it to the playlist. This is Sinead O'Connor and the Chieftains doing The Foggy Dew.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If you need proof that like humans and the world are lame, it's that like she's most famous for like the whole SNL controversy and it basically ended her career. It's like, what a stupid world we live in.
Yeah, well, it was like the Pope turning his back on the Irish Catholics. Like, she stood by what she did. Like, she bravely threw her career into the fray, just like the brave men coming out of the fog. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
it's just a shame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the world picked the wrong side yet again.
Most of the world.
True.
If that's who they want to defend and what they want to defend them for.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. That song is like a total tearjerker for me anyway. And then like her singing it, man.
Oh, she's got such a powerful voice.
Yeah. I'm blowing my nose live on air.
The Foggy Dew. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
well, I got all choked up about Border when I played that
right.
That song from The Border. So guess it's your turn.
Yeah. It's just
I think this might have been, it's cool that like the Chieftains would like have people like come guest with them and stuff.
Oh yeah, totally.
I had the Van Morrison one and yeah,
that's the other thing that is super cool and will distract me from just sobbing my head off. That like it's not like, oh, we're this band, like come listen to us. It's like, yeah, you like that song, play that song. Like, you want to take it, do your version of it, do it. It's like it's collaborative and like a community and like, oh, you want to come sing this song with us? Like, absolutely, come do it. Like, please. And like last year, like as much as I make fun of Marin County for being a like Sonoma County hick. Marin County had a Kaylee on the Lake at the Civic Center last year, and I hope they're going to have one this year. It was like traditional like Celtic Kaylee stuff, and they had a stage, and so bands were playing on the stage, but then there's like this little like sitting area right next to this big lake that's there on the grounds, and they had that set up for like bands when they weren't on
little
stage,
breakouts, like
like
just like bluegrass festival kind of thing.
Yeah, like anybody that brought an instrument or whatever, like they could just come and sit there and like play songs. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. So it's like that's where we spent most of the time, and I got a really bad sunburn. So it was like, oh, it's going to be all cloudy. Oh no, it's not all cloudy. Oops.
No foggy dew that day.
No.
I mean, it is a little like PBS, you know, the Chieftains, but it's not full blown like river dance either. So
true. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, so many people were into river dance in the 90s. And it's like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, river dance to Ireland is like what Branson, Missouri is to like American music.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say, like, when we went to Switzerland, we didn't go to like one of the like dinner and a show fondue restaurants. Because it's like, you know, fondue's the most famous Swiss thing, but it's like it's not really like traditional Swiss, and like I don't know. And then like sitting there and clapping along while like these people dance around in their Trockton and sing goofy songs for your entertainment. You like eat a bunch of cheese. Like it was just, I love cheese, but that was just too cheesy. So yeah. River dance is like the same kind of thing. Or like Branson, Missouri. Like,
well, and it's hard to stay regular when you travel anyways. So like having like a big old like cheese night, it's probably not like,
oh man,
probably not in my top travel tips.
Well, if you're stuck on a train for like 8 hours, it might be handy.
That's true. Depends on the train. True.
Anyway, so the next song is a similar theme to the last one, but it's what the fighters would have been playing if they hadn't been creeping through the foggy dew to give the lobster backs what for. So this is the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Makem with The Rising of the Moon. Yeah, the Clancy Brothers are cool.
Yeah, that guy's playing a tenor guitar. They have 4 strings.
Yeah, I never knew there were 4-string guitars. That's interesting.
Yeah, tenor guitar.
Nice.
They have a cool sound to them.
Well, would you like to hear it again?
I'd like to hear another Clancy Brothers tune.
Well, fancy that. So this is the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Makem with Brennan on the Moor. Because the only thing better than like Irish pikemen rising up to fight the Brits is like a lone Irish fighter giving a landlord or a mayor or some rich toff what for. So this is Brennan on the Moor. Okay.
Hey.
So that was a different guitar, obviously, but
yeah, it was a regular guitar, plain old guitar.
But yeah, I love that song, Brennan on the Moor.
Yeah,
brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the Moor.
Nice when you can end a song with shouting, "Hey!"
Yeah, and it's like, Whiskey in the Jar is kind of like the same song by but like first person perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Plus, I like the lady coming up and like, oh no, please don't hurt my husband. And the mayor like, all right, well, give me all your money then. Oh, okay. Here, how about a blunderbuss instead?
Oh man,
it's pretty cool. Yeah, so we brought up Riverdance. We've talked about that, but that it is like a fundamental part of Irish music. Like the Riverdance thing is just so cliche, but like what I think is cool about it is not only is it dancing, but it's like, you know, it's total like humble people's music. That it's like you might only have one instrument in whatever like pub or home or whatever. You know, you might have just a little squeeze box or just a fiddle. But like, you know, unless times are really rough, most people have shoes. So like shoes as a percussion instrument is pretty rad when you think about it. But it's like, you're not just dancing, you're like making music along, like you're making part of the music.
Yeah.
So I came across this girl, Emma O'Sullivan. She's pretty internet famous. This was one of her videos that went viral because it's just like, it's the most adorable thing ever. And like a pretty girl in an Irish accent saying, "Sean, do you see the baby?" Just makes my heart glow. So this is the Shop Street in Galway, Ireland.
That's so cool.
Right?
Oh, man. My daughter sent us a Zoom link to this. It was super meta. And I think I told you about it already, but she sent us a Zoom link to like a young artists festival at the Stake Center in Santa Rosa.
Right.
And it was an 80s theme. And it was really weird because like when I was a young person, like doing those kind of talent show things and stuff at that place was in the 80s. Right. It was really weird to see all these kids like dressed in 80s fashion dancing to 80s music.
Right.
And one of the songs they did was Eye of the Tiger. And there was a little girl dancing to it.
Nice.
And it was amazing. She was getting so into it.
Nice.
It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
Kind of reminded me of that. It wasn't a baby like that little baby there, but you know, she was probably like 3 or 4 or something. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. She was really getting into it.
Yeah, we ate at a pizzeria in Venice like one afternoon. And there was a, you know, it's a huge tourist city. And so there's like a lot of street musicians. And there was a guy playing an accordion. Like this little tiny little baby, just like that, like dancing along. Nice. That was just like there, not even eating at the restaurant, just like a family that stopped to like listen. And this kid like started dancing. It was like, oh man.
Nice.
It's like, do we toss a hat in your coin or toss a coin in your hat or the kid's hat? Like,
oh man.
It's pretty cute.
And that was not unlike the dance moves that a lot of the kids were doing at Binkley Elementary during Crocodile Rock.
Oh, yeah.
PE class.
Oh, man.
But it wasn't as endearing.
Yeah, awkward flapping about.
Yeah.
Speaking of meta, the channel that video is from is The West Awake. And if you're not familiar with that term, the rising of the moon and a lot of the earlier Irish protests, like pikemen rising to come defend Eastern Ireland, like Dublin and stuff, were the men of the West and like the West Awake was a battle cry against oppression.
The more you know.
Yeah. This fun fact brought to you by Clark's History Corner. Okay, so one more from Emma Sullivan, just to really drive home the, Irish music doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be a big production. It can just be like 4 guys. One of them's got a tenor guitar.
And a penny whistle.
Yeah, and a penny whistle. Or it can be somebody with a squeeze box and a wee lass with her brogues. So this is the brush dance, performed by Emma Sullivan. O'Sullivan.
Nice.
Pretty cool, huh?
There's 2 kinds of cloggers, and you don't want either one of them living upstairs from you.
Fair.
I love the kind of dancing that just uses like household items, like traditional dancing. Like there's a lot of Polynesian stick dancing or like the poi ball dancing.
Right.
And then, there's like the Mexican hat dance, or they have like the wedding knot Mexican dance. I don't know if you ever seen that one.
I have.
Where it's cool. Like see somebody like stepping over a broom like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So her name's Emma O'Sullivan, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Irish diaspora later in the playlist. I once on a camping trip met a man from Boston, and I did end up writing a limerick about him, but I
was gonna say, man, are we getting into the limericks now?
But I don't remember the limerick that I wrote. I never wrote it down. But
do you remember our limerick phase?
Yes.
Oh man.
So I wrote a limerick about this guy because he was a pretty rad dude, and it was like, I won't get into all the details, but he was from Boston, and his family name was Sullivan, and his mother's maiden name was Sullivan. So he was Sullivan on both sides of his family. And they made sure that they weren't too closely related.
No, man.
That they didn't have any like direct cousins, in common. But it was pretty funny that like his mom didn't even need to like change her driver's license or anything.
No, man.
It's like, yeah. I've been
pretty good.
Mom, I met a nice Irish boy. What's his name? Danny Sullivan. It's not our Danny Sullivan, is it? So, pretty much everybody in the U.S. is familiar with St. Patrick's Day, or St. Paddy's Day. But the OG Irish saint, well before St. Patrick, was St. Bridget. And she was originally like a pagan goddess. And what's the term? Syncretization? Is that it? She got co-opted into also being a saint.
Okay.
So there aren't a whole lot of songs about St. Bridget. So a few people have taken it upon themselves. There's plenty of celebrations for St. Bridget's Day, which is February 1st. So not only does she like canonically and like folklorically come before St. Patrick's Day, her day comes before St. Patrick as well. So this is a little bit of history and a song about St. Bridget's Day by Caitlin Nick Gobbin.
That's cool.
Right. So one of the largest and oldest, if not the largest and the oldest, Bridget's Day celebrations is in Killorgan in County Kerry. And there's a statue that's there year-round and dedicated to King Puck, who if you're not familiar with Killorgan, you might not know who King Puck is. So this will be a little explainer. So this is a Irish News Network piece that starts out with the most grandiose music for a news segment about a goat.
Oh, man. Ireland's only king.
Yep. Yeah, so do you remember that cloak that I've got that I brought up? And when your kids and I went on that weirdo in costume hike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That cloak is from a weaver in Killorglin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Willow Creek Museum?
I think so.
Have you been to the Bigfoot Museum?
I haven't been to the Bigfoot Museum. I went to the History Museum that is near the Joss House.
Yeah, they're kind of right next to each other.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it was before the Bigfoot Museum was around. I was like a kid with mom and dad.
One of our ancestors, I think it's William Dollar, one of his violins is there in the museum with a picture of him playing it.
Oh, nice.
I bet he knew a lot of Irish reels.
Probably.
So that little girl's name was Sloban?
Siobhan.
Is that how you say it? Siobhan?
Like a V, not a B. Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So the little girl's name was Siobhan.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
And,
are they all named Siobhan?
No, I don't think so. But, little Irish girls grow up. And sometimes, it's probably a good thing the Bridges Day Puck Fair is no longer just a drinking festival. Because, when the little Irish girls grow up and take to the drink, interesting stuff happens. So they claim to be the original American Irish punk band. This is the Tossers with Siobhan.
Oh, man. Yep. Whiskey's bad stuff.
Or good stuff in moderation.
Well, even then, it's pretty terrible. Never was a fan.
Oh, I'm a wee bit of a fan. So yeah, we played the Tossers version of the Dampton Worm a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like those guys. So this next one is Good Morning Da by the Tossers.
Oh, man. See, it's a cautionary tale. That's what whiskey leads to.
Oh, too much whiskey leads to.
Yeah. All right. So we're into American Irish bands now.
Yeah.
When we did our first Ireland episode, it was bands from Ireland.
Yeah.
So the whole idea behind this show was like, well, we'll do St. Patrick's Day, and then we'll have bands, not only bands from Ireland, but bands from outside of Ireland,
right,
that play Irish music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Pogues were probably the first band to mix, to like blend.
Do the crossover kind of thing.
Yeah. Because, like, there were Irish punk bands, like Stiff Little Fingers and stuff, but, like, the Pogues were probably the first to, like, integrate the two, blend them together. Because it's, like, like, a lot of Irish songs are, like, upbeat and fast tempo and have...
Yeah, it's a natural fit.
Yeah, exactly. This next band is an Irish band from Southern California. The Tossers are from Chicago. And this band is from L.A. This is Flogging Molly with The Worst Day Since Yesterday.
I almost did a Lemon Twigs song from their Everything Harmony album called Every Day is the Worst Day of My Life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good song. Those guys are cool.
Yeah, I really like those guys. Those guys, Flogging Molly is probably my favorite of the American Irish punk bands. They're good. I really like what they do.
Is there like a Irish scene down there?
I don't know. Oh, well, like, there's usually an Irish pub in every major city. So, like, are you really on the map if you don't have an Irish pub?
Yeah.
I think I talked about it on the podcast. One of my proudest achievements or funnest times ever was sitting across from the Duomo, like this big cathedral in the center of Florence.
Uh-huh.
And there's an Irish pub across the piazza.
Oh, yeah, you've told this one.
Yeah.
I think you told it our last Irish episode.
Probably. And then, so we made it a point to go to every Irish pub in non-Irish cities that we were in. So we went to the one in Florence, we went to the one in Venice, and then we were going to go to the one there wasn't one in Innsbruck. There was one in Salzburg, and there's at least one in Munich. But we didn't end up going to those because, I love Guinness. I can and have drunk Guinness all day long, but if German lager is on tap, fresh on tap, like, oh, it's former monastery, so you can't pay the guy to give you beer, so you buy a token and you give the guy pouring beer a token. It's like God just needs that one extra step and then it's fine. Yeah, you hand the guy the token and then and your mug, and then like it's like a big giant tap in this huge wooden cask that's just like right there, and when that one's empty, another one's like, there's another one on the other side, and they like replace them by this big crane chute thing that's like all old timey. It's probably been there for 100 years. Or replace the one that was there for 200 years before that. Yeah. So if that's available, I'll take that. But I'll happily drink Guinness and watch a footy.
A footy. This next song must be really popular because, like, it seems like it would be semi-obscure, being like an American Irish band, and then just like one of their songs.
Well, these guys are the most famous Irish American band.
Okay.
And this song is probably familiar to at least one of our listeners.
Okay, yeah. Because, like, as you know, I'm a huge Rose Tattoo fan.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, on various Google searches, it's like, wait, why does this always come up first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not Rose Tattoo. This is the Dropkick Murphys doing Rose Tattoo.
So those guys are a Boston band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence their love for the Bruins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicago,
I love
LA, Boston.
I love Irish music, but I'm kind of glad we're we claim Scottish,
Yeah.
Even though we are, but we're not.
Yeah.
But we are. Yeah, I don't know if I could lean into the whole Irish thing,
Oh, I'd be happy to. Plus,
Yeah, you would do it better than I would, but I'm not social enough to more of a Highlander than a Emerald Isler.
Well, they're all cousins, so
yeah.
That was always when I was at the Dickens Fair wearing Dad's kilt and a costume as part of a costume, and there was somebody else wearing a kilt, but it wasn't a tartan kilt, so I'd give him my best cheesy Scottish accent to like, if it's nae tartan, it's just a skirt. And then I'm Irish. Then I'd go, cousin, and give him a big hug, and then and then make fun of the friends I was with as if they were English. It's like, fine. been hanging around all these stuffy English bastards.
Can I buy you a drink?
Right. Yeah, it's a pretty fun thing to lean into if you have the opportunity. And that video, it featured the pint of Guinness with the cascade happening. And it reminded me, another bit of advice. Don't go to an Irish pub and order a black and tan. I tried to look it up, but I can't. Google sucks now.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. They are delicious, though. But yeah, go to an English pub and order a black and tan. They'll be happy to serve you. I think it's called a half and half or something in an Irish pub. And then you're better off if you want a proper pint of Guinness, going to an Irish pub, because A, they'll know how to pour it. B, it won't be the least likely. They'll go through their stock quicker. A lot of places I've drunk Guinness, it's the least popular thing on the tap, so it may have been there for a while. And so I've had...
Yeah, that happens.
I've had several very stale, flat pints of Guinness.
Ugh.
Yeah, which is still drinkable, but oftentimes the bartender ends up buying it for you or not charging you. So it's like, it's not doing the thing.
I'll stick with corned beef and cabbage, but I quit drinking on my 25th birthday, and I'm afraid of needles. I don't have any tattoos. Well, when I wanted tattoos, I was too poor to afford tattoos.
Right.
So I have no tattoos, and I'm not very social. I can be social, like if I can like prepare for it, and if I can decompress afterwards. But like generally, I'm not super social.
Right.
So like, and I don't look good in a cap. So, or maybe I do, but
yeah,
I don't wear caps. I probably would, but I don't wear caps.
Yeah, neither do I.
More of a hat guy. So I think I would have trouble. Well, and I don't like living in cities either.
Well, you don't have to live in a city.
Well, that's true. But I mean, like, you know, like the American Irish cultures is like a...
Right. Yeah. It's like they usually came here for work and so settled in a big city.
So it's just like, it's a different world to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind a big city.
It's a world apart.
Fair. Yeah. So, you know, you might have a trouble telling us apart if you don't know us personally, just on the listening to our melodic voices.
Clark's the handsome one.
I'd beg to differ. I'm the one that looks most like David Letterman.
I'm the one that looks most like a Norwegian mountain troll.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me and my wife in our hallway. Every time I come out of the garage, like go in there, there's the picture, and man, I look like such a troll.
Oh, man.
She's like this pretty like Mexican American lady next to this like Norwegian mountain troll with a big noble's nose.
Yep.
Little squinty eyes and a long beard.
Yeah, it's like the combo of the Ross nose and the noble's nose. Yeah. It's pretty trollish.
Yeah, and there's the thing too about
it sticks out from under a cap for sure.
They say like hairline is hereditary to your maternal side. It's not true.
No. Yeah, Grandpa Nobles had a flat top the day he died.
Yeah. I have a flat top, but there's no hair on it.
Oh, man. No, you don't have
a pint on my head.
Really?
No, my head's not flat at all.
I was going to say.
It's quite shapely.
Yeah, because like I used to buzz my hair, and it's like I knew a lot of guys that would do buzz cuts or shave their head bald, and it's like if you don't have, it's not a good look a lot of times. But like I think you have the same skull I've got. You've got that like that nice Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart kind of.
Yeah, I don't have a weird egg head or anything
dome.
Like.
Yeah, you've got that nice kind of.
Can pass off as like. Yeah, I can pass off that I like shave my head on purpose.
One more story you think You think you look like a mountain troll. I have a similar story. I did Lord of the Rings trivia at one of the local breweries last year and dressed up as Tom Bombadil, which is my favorite Lord of the Rings character. In case you can tell by all the Irish music and the goofy stuff I'm into. I was on a team with some friends that I met at another Lord of the Rings trivia night. In case I didn't establish my nerd cred already. And they had invited a couple of their friends. And
what's your record so far?
What do you mean?
It's one thing to attend, but like...
Oh, we absolutely crushed it the first time, like the first Lord of the Rings trivia. And then,
so you have a W under your belt.
Yeah, and then we got third place. It was stiff competition.
Ooh.
This last time. And it was the biggest trivia night they'd ever had. There were like over 200 people there at this like tiny little brewery.
Probably some ringers in there.
Well, we thought we were the ringers. And then it was like, oh, no, there are people bringing it. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, long story short, one of the friends that these friends I met brought was like this super cute girl. And so we took a group photo and I was like, oh, sweet. Like, I'm standing next to the cute girl. It's like, probably not a good idea. I'm wearing this goofy outfit anyway. And then it's like,
oh, man.
Man.
Should I ask her out as Tom Bombadil?
Yeah. It's like seeing the two of us side by side. It was like, yeah, she's totally out of my league. She's this cute little girl. And I'm like this big, oafy, beardy dude. And it's like, I'm not that fat. Like when I say that I'm fat, people tell me that I'm not fat. It's like,
but are they just being polite?
Apparently, looking at that picture there.
So what would be give me some good Lord of the Rings trivia night pickup lines. I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Let's see. I know. There's a pretty famous one. Stop fooling around with that brandy buck. Have you ever been full of a took?
That's bad.
That might be the only one I know. I could probably think of another one, but that's the one I've actually seen.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't know. You could probably do something about like would you like to have a second breakfast at my place?
Oh man.
Okay, did you look some up?
You must have been forged in the fires of Mount Doom because you're the one.
Cheesy.
That's pretty bad. Look to my these are terrible. My name is Gollum. Will you be my precious? If I was to call you Pippin, would you marry me?
Oh, man.
You shall not pass without buying me a drink. Oh, man. Those suck.
Yeah, those are pretty bad. You said you stopped drinking on your 25th birthday?
Uh-huh.
I started drinking when I was 38 on my friend's birthday. So by the time I started drinking, I had plenty of wild oats saved up. So kind of a little different experience for me. Like I'm definitely glad I didn't drink when I was younger, but
yeah.
Like,
well, I didn't when I was younger either. Till I was like a little older. But yeah, I only had like a short stint.
Yeah, like I didn't drink when I was 21. Like I didn't have any friends that were drinkers, so it was never really a thing.
Yeah, I drank before I was 21, but on my 21st birthday, I chose not to drink just to be contrarian or whatever.
Nice.
everybody's like, oh, go to the bar, you'll get free drinks. It's like, nah, I'm going to sit this one out.
Fair.
You don't get to do that twice.
No.
So whether you do or not, have a good St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
There's lots of ways to enjoy it.
It's true.
And you can enjoy it safe and sober if that's how you roll. I'm not one to pat myself on the back, but I did make it through this entire episode with 0 banjo wisecracks.
There were only a couple of banjo songs, and the one video...
There was banjos in there.
There were banjos in there, but not a whole lot. And then...
There's a lot of banjos in there.
I think you're wrong.
I don't know. I noticed banjos, but I was really good tonight.
I mean, I thought you were going to bring it up on the Barney McKenna one.
Oh, yeah.
The Fiddler's Green, because they talk about him being a fisherman that plays banjo, or a banjo player that fishes.
Yeah.
But then there's not actually banjo in that song. Like, he just sings.
I thought the guy behind him was playing banjo.
I think he's playing a mandolin.
No, he's playing banjo. Pretty sure.
Well, we'll never know.
There's a good number of banjos.
Yeah, well, deal with it.
Yeah, so stay tuned for next week, episode 33, where Clark is going to convince me that I should listen to more library music.
Yeah, turn off your phones and get ready to be shushed. Put your hair in a bun.
So you can pull off the glasses and then let your hair shake your hair out of the bun.
Nice.
Sexy librarian.
Yeah, we'll be going over the Dewey Decimal System with library music.
Nice.
No, it's way cooler than it sounds. Trust me. Just hear me out. All right.
So everybody have a safe and sane and enjoyable St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. And if you have to call us from jail, just don't call too early.
And take it easy, like leading up to St. Patrick's Day on the sodium. So when you eat all that corned beef, you won't be way too salty.
True. I'm doing Irish farmhouse soup and bangers and mash.
Don't you make an Irish flatbread too or something? Or?
Yeah, soda bread.
Soda bread.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody have a great week.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Checking out music with my bro. Willing to dig it, yes or no. Here we go.